In 2002, the scientific consensus was that fish couldn't feel pain because nociceptors had never been found in them. Dr. Lynne Sneddon at the Roslin Institute went looking for them in rainbow trout. She found 58 receptors on the face and head, 22 of which qualified as nociceptors, responding to mechanical pressure, temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius, and acetic acid. Both A delta fibers, which carry fast, sharp pain in mammals, and C fibers, which carry slow burning pain, were present in the trout trigeminal nerve. Prior to this, the prevailing assumption was that fish nervous systems were too primitive to do anything beyond registering damage and triggering a reflex withdrawal. The behavioral evidence built the case further. Fish injected with 2% acetic acid into the lip rubbed their lips into the gravel and against the tank walls, rocked from side to side on their pectoral fins, and spiked their ventilation rate. They also took 3 hours to resume feeding compared to 1 hour in saline controls. The effects lasted about 5 to 6 hours. When morphine was administered, the rubbing and rocking stopped and the fish's normal fear response to novel objects returned. The pain signal had been consuming their attention, and it seemed like the painkiller freed it. 3 separate analgesic drug classes, an opioid, a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, and a local anesthetic, all reduced the behavioral signatures. Now, that's the case for pain. The case against it is built on architecture. So Dr. James Rose at the University of Wyoming argued that fish don't have a neocortex, the brain region where nociceptive signals become conscious pain experience in mammals. Without it, Rose argued those signals travel to brain structures that can't produce conscious suffering regardless of external behavior. The responses in his framework aren't felt, the same way a headless chicken runs without experiencing anything. Rose also pointed to something trout anglers observe regularly. Wild trout are found holding and feeding lies and rising normally with healed puncture wounds and talon scars from osprey strikes. The attack that produced those injuries would have activated every nociceptor in the surrounding tissue. The fish feeding normally weeks later suggests the gap between detecting damage and consciously experiencing it may be significant. C fiber density in trout is also a fraction of what's found in mammals. C fibers carry the slow, sustained burning component of pain associated with suffering rather than immediate withdrawal. Their near absence in trout is part of what keeps this question open. The nociceptors are real, the lip rubbing, the rocking, and the response to 3 different painkillers are documented, and they're not really disputed. What remains unresolved is whether or not detecting harm and experiencing pain are the same thing in a rainbow trout. Sneddon answered the first question, but the second is still being argued.